Before we begin the journey tonight, I invite you to make a few small adjustments to your environment. Shift your shoulders away from your ears, unclench your jaw. Let your tongue rest gently on the floor of your mouth. Feel the weight of the blanket over you not as a heavy burden, but as a protective shield, separating you from the day that has passed and the day that has yet to come. There is nothing you need to do right now. There are no emails to answer, no conversations to replay, no plans to make. The world has continued to spin without your help for billions of years, and it will safely carry you through this night too. You have permission to lay down your responsibilities. You have permission to rest. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your chest with cool, fresh air. Hold it for a heartbeat, and then release it through your mouth with a soft sigh. Let the sound of your breath be the signal to your body that it is time to power down. Imagine a soft, warm light beginning at the very top of your head. It is the color of honey and sunset. As it touches your scalp, the tiny muscles there relax. The light flows down over your forehead, smoothing out the worry lines. It flows over your eyes, making your eyelids feel pleasantly heavy, so heavy that you couldn't open them even if you wanted to. Down through your cheeks, your neck, your shoulders. Feel that golden light moving down your arms, past your elbows, to your wrists and fingertips. Your hands are resting. They are done grasping, done holding, done working. The light moves down your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, untying the knots of the day, into your hips, your thighs, your knees, down to your ankles, and finally, to the soles of your feet. You are now a vessel of calm. You are safe. You are warm. You are ready to drift. Let us now leave this room behind. Let us float upward through the ceiling, through the night sky, drifting toward a place where time moves slower, where the air is sweet, and where the only sound is the gentle growth of crystal flowers. Welcome to the glass garden. Elian stood up. His knees popped gently, a comfortable sound. He moved toward the arboretum, the section of the garden housing the great quartz oaks. These trees were magnificent. Their trunks were 10 feet wide, made of smoky quartz that swirled with internal nebulas. Their branches stretched up to the very top of the dome, creating a canopy of transparency. Tonight, it was time to prune the whispering willows. Unlike the oaks, the willows were made of flexible glass fibers. They hung down like curtains of light. When the air moved, they brushed against each other, creating a sound exactly like a hush. Elian took out a pair of silver shears. He didn't cut the branches. He simply trimmed the ends that had become jagged. Snip. A tiny piece of glass fell to the mossy floor. Snip. He worked with the focus of a jeweler. He wasn't just maintaining the tree. He was tuning an instrument. If the strands were too long, the sound they made was too deep. If they were too short, it was too high. Elian wanted the perfect pitch of relaxation. As he worked, he began to hum a melody. It was a song without words, a tune older than the glass dome itself. It was the song the tectonic plates sing as they slide over the mantle. It was the song the ocean sings to the shore. The willows seemed to lean into his touch. The light within its trunk pulsed in time with his humming. Pulse, pulse. After he finished the willows, Elian felt a pleasant tiredness settling into his bones. It wasn't the exhaustion of stress. It was the good, heavy fatigue of work well done. But his night was not over yet. He walked to the far end of the garden, to the sector of nebulous. Here, enormous glass spheres floated in the air, suspended by magnetic fields. Inside each sphere was a miniature gas cloud, swirling in slow motion. Pinks, purples, deep indigos. One of the spheres had grown dim. The gas inside was stagnant. Elian approached it gently. He placed his hands on the cool surface of the glass sphere. He closed his eyes. He visualized energy. He visualized movement. He poured his own calmness, his own steady rhythm into the sphere. Slowly, the gas inside began to churn. A current of violet light sparked in the center, then spread outward like ink in water. The sphere brightened, casting a soft lavender light over Elian's hands. It began to rotate again. The vibration traveled up Elian's arms, relaxing his muscles even further. The garden was alive, and he was its heartbeat. Elian left the main dome and entered the annex, a smaller, cozier structure attached to the side of the conservatory. This was his home, and more importantly, his library. But Elian did not collect books. He collected weather. The walls were lined with thousands of glass vials, jars, and bottles, all corked and labeled in elegant handwriting. Summer storm, 1942. Gentle drizzle, Paris, 1888. Monsoon mist, Bengal, 1905. Snowfall silence, Antarctica, 2021. Elian walked to the shelf labeled Gentle Rains. He ran his finger along the dusty glass of the bottles. He was looking for something specific to accompany his tea. He chose a bottle labeled Autumn Shower on a tin roof, Vermont. He carried the bottle to his desk, where a complex apparatus awaited. It looked like a gramophone horn attached to a diffuser. He chose a bottle labeled Autumn Shower on a tin roof, Vermont. He carried the bottle to his desk. He uncorked the bottle. Inside there was no water, only a swirling gray mist. He poured the mist into the machine. Instantly, the sound filled the room, where a complex apparatus awaited. It looked like a gramophone horn attached to a diffuser. Tap dash tap dash tap dash tap dash tap. It was the distinct, rhythmic, hypnotic sound of rain falling on a metal roof. It was crisp, yet muffled. Continuous, steady. There was no thunder, no wind, just the percussion of water meeting shelter. Elian sighed with contentment. He lit a small burner and placed a copper kettle on top. While the water boiled, he sat in his armchair. It was a massive thing, upholstered in worn brown leather that creaked softly when he moved. He sank into it, the leather molding to his shape. He looked out the window. Below him, miles down, was a carpet of clouds. The moon was shining on them, turning them into a sea of silver waves. Above him, the stars were steady and unblinking. The kettle whistled a low, soft note, not a shriek. Elian brewed his tea. It was a blend of dried chamomile and petals from the crystal lily he tended. When the water hit the leaves, the steam that rose smelled of sleep itself. He took the cup in both hands, letting the warmth seep into his palms. He blew on the surface, creating ripples. Sip. The tea was warm, floral, and sweet like honey. It coated his throat and settled in his stomach like a warm stone. With his tea finished, Elian picked up his knitting. He was knitting a blanket, but the yarn was spun from shadows. During the day, he would collect the shadows cast by the quartz oaks. He would spin them on a wheel into long, dark, incredibly soft threads. Now, he knitted them together. The fabric was weightless, yet infinitely dark. When you draped it over yourself, it didn't just block light, it absorbed it. It created perfect darkness. Click, clack, click, clack. The wooden needles moved rhythmically. The motion was hypnotic. Over, under, loop, pull. Over, under, loop, pull. Elian's mind began to drift. He thought about the flowers sleeping in the main dome. He thought about the mercury pond, perfectly still. He thought about the clouds below, drifting aimlessly across the world. His eyelids grew heavy. The fire in the grate was dying down to embers, glowing with a deep, pulsing orange. The shadows in the corners of the room stretched out, welcoming him. He set his knitting down. It was time. He stood up and walked to the spiral staircase that led to his sleeping tower. The steps were covered in thick wool carpet. Soft step, soft step, soft step. Up he went, winding around and around, rising higher into the night. His bedroom was a circular chamber at the very pinnacle of the spire. The ceiling was glass. He slept directly under the stars. His bed was vast, a cloud of down feathers and soft linen sheets that smelled of lavender and fresh air. Elian blew out the candle he carried. The room plunged into darkness, save for the starlight filtering in from above. He pulled back the covers. The sheets were cool and crisp. He lay down. The mattress accepted him, holding him, supporting every inch of his tired body. He pulled the heavy duvet up to his chin. He wiggled his toes, feeling the softness of the fabric. He looked up at the sky. He saw Cassiopeia. He saw Orion. He saw the Pleiades. They were his friends. They were watching over him. The sound of the rain from the machine downstairs was faint now, a distant murmur. The sound of the wind outside was a low hum. Elian closed his eyes. He imagined the glass garden below him, the blue glow of the lilies, the slow swirl of the nebulous spheres, the stillness of the mercury pond. Everything was in order. Everything was safe. Everything was quiet.
He took a deep breath. "Good night, stars," he whispered. "Good night, world."
His breathing slowed, in, out, deeper and deeper. Down into the velvet dark, down into the quiet. Sleep claimed the gardener. And now you are standing there with Elian in the safety of the tower. The story has ended, but the feeling of peace remains. Notice how your body feels right now. It is likely heavier than it was before. Your legs are heavy, sinking into the mattress. Your arms are heavy, limp at your sides. Your head is heavy into the pillow. The darkness behind your eyes is vast and comforting. There's nothing left to see, There is nothing left to hear. There's only the gentle rhythm of your own breath, rising and falling like a slow ocean tide. Imagine that cool, heavy blanket of shadow yarn that Elian knitted. Imagine it being draped over you now. It is soft, weightless, and infinitely comforting. It blocks out the world. It holds you in a warm embrace. You are drifting on a raft in the Mercury Pond. The liquid supports you perfectly. You are floating, drifting, turning slowly in the gentle current of sleep. If a thought comes to you, treat it like a distant star. Acknowledge its light, but let it stay far away. Do not try to reach for it. Let it drift past your field of view. You are safe, you are loved, you are asleep. Good night, good night, good night.